Irashaimase! Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus, bringing you the Chef's Choice and weekly video game news today for December 14th, 2015. So it's actually a relatively quiet week. There wasn't a whole lot to go and report about, and even some of the things that there were, I went and reported in my news program for last week, since it came a little bit later than it normally did. But we do have a couple of topics to go and discuss, so let's get cooking and jump right in, shall we? So our first item to go and discuss is Parappa the Rapper 2 is going to get released as a PlayStation 2 classic, or however you want to go and phrase it, for the PlayStation 4. This is a really exciting piece of news for me personally, since even though I'm a big fan of Parappa the Rapper, I've never actually played Parappa the Rapper 2. So being able to go and play it on PlayStation 4 with the extra features that are enabled therein is really exciting to me. But that said, it also gives us an opportunity to go and talk a little bit about the PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility, which I haven't actually had the chance to go and do. So with the PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility on PlayStation 4, it's unfortunately digital only. This means that even if you go and have the disc of the game, you won't be able to go and play it on your PlayStation 4. You'll have to go and buy it digitally, and that'll enable you to go and play it. This is disappointing. It would have been good in my mind if they could have gone and come up with some program for you to register that disc and at least go and buy it at a discount rather than going and paying the full price even if you already go and own the title. That said, the bells and whistles that they are going and adding to the titles on the PlayStation 4 are nice. Unlike the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 classics on the PlayStation 3, these PlayStation 2 classics on the PlayStation 4 are going and getting trophy support, so that's definitely a plus, in addition to the other features like upscaling and then everything else that the PlayStation 4 has to offer. But I'm disappointed that Sony didn't go just that little bit further and give us an outright emulator to go and use for PlayStation 2 titles on the PlayStation 4. Still, it's better than nothing, and there are a lot of great titles on the PlayStation 2, so I'm hoping that they go and continue to go and support it really well, as I feel like PlayStation 2 classic support on the PlayStation 3 was really lacking, and we were missing a lot of great titles that came out for the PlayStation 2 on the PlayStation 3. So here's hoping they do better on the PlayStation 4. Moving on to our next item on the menu. So, this is an announcement from Gaijin Works about Summon Night 5. So, some of you might remember I mentioned Summon Night 5 months ago as going and being announced as being localized for the North American market with a physical PSP release. So they were originally going and targeting an October-November release window, but obviously they went and missed that. But they went and announced last week that they're going to go and be releasing the title on December 15th, so this week, 2015. The physical copies aren't ready yet, so I'm not going to be able to go and show that just yet. But digitally, it's going to go and be released on the PSN this Tuesday. And for those that did go and buy the physical, they're going to go and be getting the code a day early, so they'll go and have it ready for when it's available on the PlayStation Network. That said, I did not go and see Summon Night 5 listed in the PlayStation Drop this week, so I hope everything is still smooth and that we actually do go and get the release this week and it hasn't been delayed. I'm really pleased that Gaijin Works still goes and continues to go and support and bring over some of those really niche titles that we might not otherwise have gotten stateside. But sometimes I really wonder about their release methods just going to be maybe a little bit eccentric. Still, it's definitely fun to be able to go and get a physical PSP release here in late 2015, early 2016. Definitely a rare occurrence, regardless of if you're in North America or elsewhere in the world for the most part, although there still are a few physical PSP titles going and coming out in Japan. Moving on to a sadder note on our menu, I got Suma Entertainment announced earlier this week that they're going to go and be closing their doors due to financial difficulties. So this is a publisher-developer that's largely known for releasing the Code of Princess title on the 3DS, as well as Sayonara Umihara Kawase on the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation Portable, as well as the Vita. It's sad to go and see any publisher go and announce that they're having to go and close their doors, but especially one that even earlier this summer was going and talking about future plans for some of their series, like a possibility of a Code of Princess 2 sequel going and coming out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Like I said, it's definitely sad to go and see any developer go and close their door, especially one that was going and working on producing interesting and different titles that we don't go and see a whole lot of in this day and age. And moving on to the last item on the menu, a little bit of a rumor this time. So classic Game Arts RPGs, Lunar and Grandia, might possibly be going and getting a Steam release. This information is based off of listings found in the Steam database for these titles. The Steam database is usually a location where you can go and find information about titles before they go and come out if you go and know what you're going and looking for. So this is definitely exciting news, as these are two great classic JRPGs that I feel are definitely worthy of most people's attention if you're a fan of the genre. So there's that to go and look forward to. No formal announcements yet, but the company did at least go and acknowledge the postings seem to go and be legitimate on the Steam database, so that's definitely interesting to go and see. And earlier in the year, Gung Ho Online goes and owns the rights to these titles, was going and looking for information as to what kind of titles gamers would be interested in going and seeing released for the PC. So there's definitely that. Well, that'll just about wrap it up for this week's news. If there are other news stories you think I should be reporting about on the show, by all means, please leave those in the comments below. Or if you have any other comments about the show, I would love to go and hear those as well. Thank you so much for coming out and joining me today for Fitaurus Kitchen Weekly Gaming News, and I look forward to going and seeing you again next week.